G'day, mates. How you going? I'm Alan Bites, your favorite English teacher. Let's learn some words. Let's learn some simple words related to Earth Day. Well, this is the Earth. This is the ocean. These are plants. This is a honeybee. This is a bicycle. This is a recycling bin. This is garbage. This is plastic. This is a polar bear. This is pollution. This is a car. And this is a bus. Okay, let's see how many of the words you remember here. What is this word here? This is bicycle. What is this one here? This is a car. How about this? It's a bus. And this? This is earth. How about this? Garbage. And how about this one? Honeybee. What is this word? Plant. How about this? Plastic. Very good. How about this one? Polar bear. Excellent. Here? Pollution. How about this one? Recycling bin. And, well, the last one here, what is this one? Ocean. Well, for those of you who like to exercise the alphabet, let's do some spelling with me. Started with bicycle. B-I-C-Y-C-L-E. Bicycle. Bus. B-U-S. Very good. How do you spell earth? E-A-R-T-H. Earth. How do you spell garbage? G-A-R-B-A-G-E. Garbage. What about ocean? O-C-E-A-N. Ocean. Pollution. P-O-L-L-U-T-I-O-N. Pollution. Well, that's it for spelling. Now, let us do some pronunciation of these words. Recycling bin, ocean, pollution, garbage, plants, earth, polar bear, honeybee, plastic, bicycle, bus, and car. How about we do some questions to our bro here? Bro, what's your favorite animal? Hey bro, I truly appreciate you inviting me for this interview, for this conversation. And I could say that my favorite animal is, well, I have many of them, yeah, but I believe like the eagle, yeah, is one of my favorite animals because the eagle flies the highest, never complains, yeah, and is always finding a way to be higher than other animals. Just in case, like the crow, for instance, when the crow attacks, yeah, the eagle, one of the few animals that have courage to attack the eagles, the eagle flies so high that the crow cannot not breathe the air in the altitude, and will just let go of the eagle because the eagle is always growing and growing and growing and thinking about going better. So yeah, the eagle sounds pretty good for me. The earth is getting warmer. Which animals are losing their homes? Which animals are losing their homes, you ask me? Well, if you consider the vocabulary that you shared in this lesson, we could say the polar bears are losing their homes. Yeah, because as the earth is getting warmer, yeah, the the ice is melting in a lot of places, and these polar bears, they live in these places where there's ice, and they will not be living in the water forever. So yes, they are losing their homes, unfortunately. Are you afraid of honeybees? For the honeybees, well, they could attack and I could be allergic to it. It could hurt. So it's not that I'm afraid, but I will be protected from them in case they come for me, especially if it's a bunch of them, of course. If it's just one or two, yeah, it's not going to be too scary, I think. Just be aware so they don't bite me, they don't sting me. Yeah, but I wouldn't do anything to it. I know they are pretty important insects for, yeah, important bugs for the planet, yeah, for the earth. What good things do honeybees do? Well, bro, honeybees, they're pollinators. Yeah, that's their job, which means that they help a lot with the reproduction of countless plants, a lot of plants. And reproducing a lot of plants, they help a lot with the production of a lot of food crops for the human beings, we human beings. And as a consequence of that, they support the biodiversity and make sure, yeah, they ensure that we have food security when the food comes to our table. Yeah, they're pretty, in a simple way, I could explain that way. Yeah, they are pretty important animals for our planet. And I love propolis myself. Yeah, propolis keeps me healthy all the time. Is there a lot of pollution in your city? Fortunately, I live near the seashore, yeah, near the ocean. As you shared the vocabulary, as I live near the ocean, there's less pollution here because it's also a small city. There are not many cars or trucks or buses or even factories that produce a lot of pollution, I reckon. Why are oceans in danger? Well, I guess the oceans are in danger because a lot of people throw garbage, yeah, into the ocean. It kills a lot of the animals, yeah, like destroying with the diversity of animals. A lot of animals try to escape to other places. We have issue with overfishing, people fishing with nets. A lot of fish die. They rot, and people don't even eat them. And perhaps the climate change as well. Do people in your neighborhood recycle? People met me in my neighborhood. Some people, I can say, they do recycle. There's a specific place where we can take the recycling things, yeah, the recycling objects, but it's not everybody that recycle. Yeah, so it's not a common thing for a lot of people here. Unfortunately, I know there are many places in the world that they do recycle, and that's pretty important, I guess. Can you ride a bicycle? Is it good for the environment? I can ride a bicycle. I like to ride a bicycle. And the benefits of riding a bicycle is that I will produce less pollution by riding a bicycle, I guess. Which is better for the environment? Cars or buses? Why? Well, it depends on the perspective. Cars could be good for the environment when it comes, well, depending on the case, depending on the production industry, maybe in the future will be even better. Yeah, cars that run with solar panels or something like that, electric energy that does not harm the environment so much. So cars could be okay. Yeah, the production of other parts also of the car, not just the batteries or the electric, yeah, versions of the cars. Even combustion in some cases, people say nowadays they pollute less than electric cars. Have to do that search better. Yeah, do some research on that. You can even share some comments here, what your opinion about that is. And well, I believe most people would say the buses are good or better for the environment because a lot of people share the same transport. So instead of having, for instance, 30 cars driving around with 30 sources of smoke to the environment, we will have 30 people in one vehicle, which is the bus. So it's one vehicle polluting versus 30 vehicles polluting. Yeah, or even in some cases, there are even some eco-friendly buses nowadays. Yeah, so it could be even better because 30 people, for instance, traveling in one vehicle, producing less smoke or no smoke at all, perhaps. Thanks for the invitation, mate. Cheers. Thanks for coming, bro. It's always a pleasure. Stay sharp.